I'm kind of conflicted on, I guess, part of my situation. I think about where I'm at, what I've been through, my marriage. And here's the part where I'm conflicted. See, I regret getting married, not because I'm going through a divorce, but because of everything that happened while I was married. Of course, I regret some things that I did while I was married, but I regret getting married in the first place. But I don't regret my kids. But without the marriage, my kids never would have been born. So, the reason I'm conflicted is because if I hadn't gotten married, there's a lot of myself I never would have lost. But my children wouldn't have been born either. I have to say that the pain I endured was worth my children. I just wish I could have had my children and a good marriage. Anyway, it's been about 2 months now since I've seen my children. Some weird stuff happened over the last month, a couple months, whenever Father's Day was. On Father's Day, I made a post on Facebook that said, "This is the first Father's Day in 14 years that I haven't gotten a happy Father's Day from my kids." Because it is. It was. This is the first Father's Day I didn't get a happy Father's Day from my kids. And I don't hold that against them. They have to obey their mother. But my daughter, apparently she saw the post. And I don't know how, because she never accepted my friend request. And I didn't even know she could see my posts. But she said, "Happy Father's Day." And I said, "Thank you. I'm sorry I haven't been able to see you guys. I have to pay to see my own children." Her mother deleted the post, deleted her comment, which also deleted mine, blocked me, my dad, and my mother from my daughter's Facebook page. And I kind of expected that. Surprised that it didn't happen before any of that. But here's the weird thing. It wasn't but, I don't know, a week later maybe, and my oldest son contacts me. And we're talking, and I asked my son, "Does your mom know that you're talking to me?" "Yes." Now, that's really weird. Because after she deleted the comment and blocked me, my mom, and my dad on Facebook from my daughter's Facebook profile, she sent a rather expressive text to me. I didn't answer that. I don't talk to her anymore. I don't care what she says to me. Unless something serious happens to the kids, as far as I'm concerned, she doesn't exist. I don't talk to her. I won't respond to her, because every time I do, it's nothing but problems. I don't talk to her anymore. But she sent a very, very expressive text to me, basically telling me that I'm not allowed to talk to my own kids because I'm on supervised visitation. And she said for a reason, but I'm not even going to get into that. Maybe I will a little. She's got the courts convinced that I'm a danger to my kids because of stuff that happened before I ever met her. You know, I've talked about those things. No, I'm not a danger to my kids. I've done my best to prepare them for this messed up world. Anyway, the weird part is, after all that, after she goes so far as to tear into me for my daughter reaching out to me. I didn't reach out to my daughter. She reached out to me. And then she tore into me after. Anyway, then she's allowing my son to contact me? I thought that was really weird. Until my son tells me that I have mail. Which in itself isn't odd. And we talk a little bit about it. I tell him where the mail needs to be sent and all that. And then we go on talking about random stuff. The first time I had talked to my son in over a month. And it was right after my wife tells me I'm not allowed to talk to my kids. Which, as I remember it, this restraining order is not a no contact order. Whatever. The next morning, and I mean morning, like pretty dang early morning, I get several texts from my wife telling me I need to do a change of address with this bank that's been sending classified mail. So she only let my son contact me to use him as a courier to tell me to contact me, because I haven't been responding to her, and I'm not going to. I didn't even respond to those last texts. I will not talk to her. So anyway, weird behavior. Now I know that she's probably going to get her lawyer to file some sort of injunction or some nonsense because I'm making disparaging remarks, except it's provable. They're facts, not disparaging remarks. They're facts. And like I've said before, if stating a fact is considered a disparaging remark, that is an open admission that you're doing something wrong and you know it. Anyway, back to what I was talking about. I've been conflicted. I guess the real problem is that I have regret. It's a weird thing, regretting trying to build a life with someone. And I did. I mean, everything she yelled and screamed and complained at me for, trying to get me to do, trying to get me to get, she ended up with all of it. Of course, she's trying to take credit for the things that I did, but that's to be expected. Some people just can't accept when they do wrong, so they have to make sure that they look better than the other person. Anyway, so when we got our house, it was a 20-year note. And we argued over and over and over how we were going to use our income tax return money, because it was between $7,000 and $10,000 for our income tax returns. She wanted to fix the house because there were problems. Yeah, those problems are still there. Just before I was kicked out, I was getting ready to take care of a lot of those problems. Roof needed fixed, and I actually found the lumber and the shingles buried under some tools in a shed. all this stuff was there when we got there. I didn't actually know it was there until about a month before, I guess it was about 2 weeks before I got kicked out. Anyway, we paid the house off in 3 years because of my plan. And now, and you can read this in earlier comments, her mother commented and stated that that was my wife's plan. Except it wasn't. That was my plan, and my wife wanted to use the money to fix the house. We argued about it often. I regret marrying. Like at all. Men, don't get married. That's dumb. Don't get married. There is nothing in it for you. You get married and you lose your autonomy. You lose your money. You lose your confidence. You will lose your confidence. It's not an if. It's not a, well, maybe if she sees this in me, blah, blah, blah. No. You'll lose your confidence. You'll lose your identity, your autonomy, your money. Men, don't get married. There's nothing in it for you. The closest you can come to any kind of reward for marriage is your kids. And that's only until she decides that you have to be out of her life. And then she'll take them from you too. Then you're left with nothing but pain, heartache, and a bill that doesn't go away until your kids turn 18. While you wish you could be part of their lives. I was part of their lives. I wasn't just a guy who was sitting around with his thumb up his butt while his kids were raising themselves, like she's trying to portray me. I was as present as I could be. There toward the end, it was very difficult because I wasn't even me anymore. I lost so much of myself. It took absolutely everything in me. It took everything in me to eat. It took everything in me to just be awake. To be a person. And I was barely that. Yes, I still cooked every day. I was a stay-at-home dad for all of 23. I was a stay-at-home dad. And I'm sure a lot of people are like, oh, well, you were just being a deadbeat. You were being lazy because you were a stay-at-home dad instead of making money. And these are the same people who will say, well, being a stay-at-home mom is a real job and men need to respect it. So I don't take that stuff seriously. I was a stay-at-home dad for a year. Sorry. And during that year, I fed them. After we got them in public school, which now I know why she pushed so hard for it. I was the one that sent them out to the bus. I actually went out there with them. They didn't stand out at the end of the driveway by themselves. I was there with them, protecting them. I made sure I was there when they came home. And I made sure that when they got home, there was food waiting for them. I helped them with their homework. Made sure there were clean dishes for them to eat on. I tried to clean the house. It was very difficult to do as much as I was doing because there was barely anything left of me. I spent most of that year with nightly panic attacks. I would get 2 to 4 hours of sleep because I couldn't sleep. I was having nightly panic attacks. The only way I could get to sleep was to drink myself to sleep. I hated it. Now, I almost never drink. It's almost as though I was just using it to survive. Now I don't have this person beating me down. I don't need to just survive anymore. I almost never drink. I haven't even bought any alcohol since, man, October? Maybe before that? I think it was before that. I don't really drink anymore. No reason to. Just casual at most. Looks like I get another long video. You know, I said in a couple of videos that she wasn't the only one doing abusive things. That I did some abusive things too. And it didn't occur to me then the things that might be imagined. And then I read her statement. There was a whole lot of imagination there. So I think it's a good idea that I clarify. When I said I did abusive things, and most of this didn't even start until after 21. But I would yell and cuss during our arguments. I got loud. I never touched her out of anger. I was accused of doing a whole lot of terrible things that I didn't do. And I have no way to prove it. Yes, I punched some holes in walls. They weren't to intimidate her. They weren't to threaten her. I have emotional control issues. I know I do. It's better these days. The thing that's still difficult to control is my anger. And usually when things irritate me, things don't go the way that I really hope they go. Sorry. Yeah. Been a long day. I'm pretty sure I have a migraine. Anyway, but none of that was to intimidate her or to threaten her. It was to redirect my anger at something that I could fix. Drywall, wooden stuff. I mean, I've been working with wood since I was 18 years old. I've been, well, technically longer than that, but anyway, I did commercial drywall for 10 years since I was 16. There's not a wall I can't fix. I punch it. And during the 16 years we were married, I only did that 3 times. It wasn't a habit. It was something I tried not to do because I could see how it could be considered a threat. Or a form of intimidation. And I never wanted anybody to think that about me. Unfortunately, it didn't matter. And I have to say that I had extremely unreasonable expectations in bed. But those expectations didn't really come until after 20. Because, I don't know, my brain was broken. Looking back on it, I hate how stupid I was being. But none of that matters now. Here I am with a whole bunch of bad memories and unrelenting regret. In fact, about the only things I don't regret are my children. I even regret the good times I had, not just in my marriage, but in my life, because while I was celebrating, there was somebody crying. While I was laughing, there was somebody hating themselves because of me. I mean, everybody who's watched my videos knows what I did. Yes, I feel regret and shame for the things that I did in my past. It's not something that I think people shouldn't care about. It's something that I did my best to move past, so I don't present a threat anymore. I wish I could go back and stop myself from doing the things that I did. And even now, obviously I can't go back in time, but I wish I could comfort the people that I hurt. I can't. Every time I think about it, I think about their side of it. What must have been going through their mind. Especially my cousin. Yes, I feel like an idiot. I'm not glorifying myself, not justifying anything. I don't like me. If I could fix it, I would. But I can't. I want to be able to teach my kids how to avoid this. How to keep themselves from making the same stupid decisions that I did, or even worse decisions. But the one person that those kids know that could teach them how not to be like that is the one person that they're being kept from. And all I can do is sit back and hope that what it looks like is happening isn't actually happening. The best that I can do is try not to be that same person. To keep being better. Sorry. I tried to encourage her to be better. To not do the same things that she's been doing. She was apparently doing all these things before she even met me. But you can't help somebody fix something when they don't even think they're doing anything wrong. I encouraged her to be better. I knew what potential she had, and I tried to convince her of that potential. You know, she painted. I don't think she does it anymore. She didn't whenever we separated. Sorry, my pillow was annoying me. But she painted. When I noticed that she stopped painting, I encouraged her to pick it back up. I encouraged her to pick it back up. I encouraged her to keep painting. I told her, please don't stop painting. I think that only just encouraged her to keep away from the brush. It's almost as though everything that I enjoyed about her, she threw away. Presumably, in spite of me. The line she kept saying was, well, you cheated on me. Every time I brought up something that she was doing, or how heartless or callous she was being in a certain situation. You cheated on me. Yeah, I did. But what about before that? Because this is stuff that's been going on since we got married. I mean, it was almost a picture perfect relationship to the day we got married, and then all of a sudden I didn't even know who I was with. So the question I kept asking is, why did you do those things before I cheated on you? If you did them because I cheated on you. She's the only one I ever cheated on. And yes, I do regret it. Not because she's using it as a weapon, but because I hate that I let myself get so low that I could do that to her. For you guys who might be thinking on the same things, never let yourself get so desperate for love and affection that you betray the one you say you love. If it's so bad that you have to reach outside of your marriage for the love and affection that you feel you're missing, leave. That's the best thing you can do for both of you. The only alternative to that is just deal with a dead marriage. Those are your two options. Because you're not going to convince her to show you more love and affection. Because that withholding and withdrawing of affection is intentional. Whether it's to spite you or because she just doesn't want to. It is intentional. It's not subconscious. So either deal with the lack of love and affection or leave the relationship. Whatever you do, don't do the same stupid stuff I did. So, I guess I've ranted enough. The only things in my life I don't regret are my children. I guess my friendships too. The ones that lasted through this nonsense. Anyway, look at your lives. Be honest with yourselves. Don't say, oh, well, this is justified, so it's not wrong. No. I can easily justify cheating on my wife. That doesn't make it right. Just because you can justify it doesn't make it right. So be honest with yourselves. Say, what is wrong with me? And fix those things. Don't say, oh, well, I'm too messed up, so I might as well just go with it. No, that's stupid and immature. What is wrong with me? Then fix it. That's what you should do. In all things, be better.